Vidushi, there's no audio.
Yeah, I think there's something with the sharing bit of it. But I will be talking about all of these features. So basically what we did with Adobe Firefly is we have been able to put together 5 models as of now, and 3D is something which is work in progress. So currently we've got the image model, the vector model, the design, the video, as well as the audio model that we've got active. Image model you'll find across the web, in Photoshop, InDesign applications. Vector is specifically available in our application called as the Adobe Illustrator, as well as on our web platform recently. And then the design model, I think most of you would have missed the design model because the rest of the 4 were already there on the agenda screen. But design model is something which is available specifically inside of Adobe Express. And then we have the video model, which has been launched in October last year at Adobe Max. And then we've got the audio model, which has recently come in. We'll talk about all of this in detail. But so far, we've been able to generate 20 billion assets with Adobe Firefly and the set of models that we have, right? But what sets Firefly apart? Why? What is the kind of conversation that you would have? Now, I am 100% sure that whenever you go to your customers today, there's one question that they will always have. What about the copyright? What about the ownership? Is that correct? Is my understanding correct? Because that is what we hear from our customers as well. Now, with Firefly, what we've done is it was the first kind of model that came in that was commercially viable, safe for businesses. And how did we ensure that? That with the training model that we did, we made sure that we track every single piece of element we're training Adobe Firefly on, and it is only on Adobe stock images. I want you to learn it by heart that it is only trained on Adobe stock imagery, as well as content that is available in public domain or the copyright for which has expired. So that's our training model data set. Plus, for enterprise customers, for organizations who've got business licenses or enterprise licenses, you make sure you tell them that none of their data, whatever they're putting in as a part of their input channels like an image or a text prompt, is not being utilized to train Adobe Firefly. So that's another differentiator that we have, because we have no transparency on the 1000 LLMs that we see around us, right? And then apart from that, we also give a subscriber.
Online audio somehow is lost.
Can
You
everyone
went on a
hear me?
mute. You went on a mute.
Um,
Video, I think.
Yeah, we
video
can.
is also on, the audio is also on.
Is it audible now?
Yeah, audio and video work.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So basically what we did was, in terms of content authenticity initiative, we were able to give you the ownership for the content that you create. And all of this put together, we can indemnify and we can co-own the content in terms of if there's any minor legal consequence. Firstly, it's a commercially safe model that should not be happening. But if there comes in anything like that, we will back you with an additional layer of indemnification. And that is dependent upon the kind of contract that today customers have, right? So I'll begin with Firefly Image Model 4. Now at the launch, when Firefly came in 2.5 years ago, we had Image Model 1, and now we have come to Image Model 4 2.5 years later. And then this is where we've taken a lot of feedback from customers. We've tried to integrate different models also here to get the best out of the images that you generate through Firefly, right? So of course, the improvement in terms of native resolution would be 2K. Then there's significant improvements in terms of text renderings. Humans, I'm sure all of you would have heard a challenge of, right? So any point of time, we've worked rigorously to get the humans, animals, and architectures right. And we have maintained the commitment to be IP safe and IP friendly, and we credit all the contributors that come to our stock platform, right? So let's have a significant comparison, right? If anyone comes and tells you, and I am 100% sure that people will come to you and say, Firefly se theek image generate nahi hota hai. So that is when you tell them that now we have a model, which is the image model 4, and it is generating images better than its previous models. And this is the deck that we will also share with you, so you can furthermore show them that what is the actual difference. So image model 3, image model 4 worked on human realism, interactions, and small faces. And then improvement in text renderings with the help of sample prompts. And I understand there could be a challenge with prompting. So what we will be sharing with you post this session, a dedicated resources set will have prompt guides as well. So for all our solutions. So you can see how the text was rendered in image model 3 and how better it is in image model 4. Then of course, improvements in architecture, better perspective, more realism. And then most importantly, what I talked about, human faces, hands, feet. So we've tried to bring in significant improvement there as well. Now, not what we've done is because we understand that, people love exploring, and especially when it comes to the creative community, we've tried to bring everything under one hood for them. And we've integrated non-Adobe models. Now, you would have also heard, for all those of you who've written the models that are technically there, so you must have one of these at least, Flux Pro, Google Imagen 3, Google VO2, and GPT. All of these are integrated inside of Adobe Firefly. Now, if someone tells you that, we're already on this, or we would like to explore that as well, you tell them all of this you're getting under one particular package, under Adobe Firefly. Flux Pro, Google Imagen V3, all of these are for photos, like image generation, and VO2 is for video generation, right? Now, enterprise customers, of course, you would need them to have access if they're already on plans that we have. And if you want them to get onto a premium edition, you can always talk about that as to how they can enable the non-Firefly models. Now, we'll head on to the Firefly image model, what kind of images it is generating. But till here, with me, everyone, any challenges? Is it going too fast? Should I slow down a little bit? Everyone's with me? Bangalore, online, Noida? Perfect. So we do have coffee just in case if you're dozing off post lunch. So you can take a cup of coffee and we can continue with the session, because I'm really excited about now we're going to start the actual technical bit of it. Now, I have segmented it according to the various industries that you would be talking to, right? So, and we'll also try and understand in the next segment as to what kind of questions you get when you talk about generative AI models. So Firefly image model. So let's say these are the generations that we get with image model 4. I've used a pretty simple prompt. I've got the images absolutely realistic. Can anyone say, if I wouldn't have told you that this was with Firefly, could you say that it was generated with generative AI, right? That's the sort of realism that we're actually bringing in with image model 4. Next, what we have is image model 4 Ultra. And then we have another example of the same image that is being generated. Then this is image model 4 Ultra. Now what Ultra does it gets to another level of detailed specifics, detailed realism. And this is the results that with the same prompt that you see in the previous image, you can get a result more like this. Then we have few more examples where you can generate beautiful interiors with this prompt, with these prompts itself, all on the Firefly web platform. Then you have image model 4 Ultra, again, higher resolution, more details. And then we've got specific to something that you can present to your BFSI customers. So simple prompts that you can utilize. Now we'll share a prompt guide as well, but you can also use the various other generative AI platforms that you use to generate more. So we've got a few examples from banking and finance, then media and technology. Again, Ultra gives you more detailed outputs. Now we've got certain capabilities which are inside of the text to image model as well. Now we understand scratch text to image generation is simple. You can type in a prompt, you can generate. But let's say if your customers today have a specific reference in mind. So for that, we've got composition reference. Now let's say I've got this American doctor. What if I need an Asian doctor, or what if I need an Indian doctor? Because your companies are catering to the world, right? They're not just specific to an Indian audience or someone in one specific country. So what you can do is with composition reference, you can just make a slight amendment to the prompt and you can pick up the same structure, and then we've got so many different variations with a slight change. So all I've done is just put the ethnicities down there and I can get different results, right? And so is with style reference. What I've done is I've provided this particular image as a style reference as well as a structure reference. So it's picked up the structure of the woman as well as the colors, the different composition that it does consist into the image. So what your customers can do is they can convert any sketch, any faint idea that they've got painted in their head into a realistic visual with the help of the style and structure reference. Another capability that we have is Firefly Object Composites. Now your object or the customer's object could be the center or the star of the image, and you can have multiple generations so far around this. So you can see same object but a different background. So you can your personalization is what customers are looking at today. So they can simply go ahead and have different geographies painted around the same object. Right? Another example would be having the product as the center, putting in a prompt, and you can get great looking results with the help of object composites. So when it comes to customization of or making it more bespoke to that of the brand, object composite, style and structure reference can play a great amount of role in here. Now, 1 minute pause so that this doesn't get overwhelming. Are you with me so far, everyone? Are you finding this interesting so far? Do we need coffee? All right, then. So let's get started and get to the vector model of it. Now, can someone just talk to me about what their understanding of vector is? Anyone on online as well? Come on, unmute yourself and be a part of the session. Come on in. Anyone from Bangalore?
Anyone?
So that's a take back for all of you. The next time that we meet, you will come back to me with an answer as to what exactly a vector is. And whosoever comes back to me or messages me first after knowing what a vector is, a goodie for them as well.
It's a
Right?
basic diagrammatic representation. Before the rendering is done, you get a
Wait, yeah. Use the mic.
you get a structural image before the rendering is done. You get a graphical representation of how the vector image should look like, how the image will be looking like.
See, someone just said this word, and I'm looking for that one word as well. Thank you for answering that first of all. I think Ketki is the one who said it. I could sense that, right, Ketki? I could hear you. So I would love for everyone to try and get this response, find out what a vector is. Some people are already at it, so they're looking at their phones already. So let's see who sends me this response first in the chat or to me, and another goodie for them as well. All right, so basically, I won't tell you what a vector is, but we do have vector generations. I don't know how to go about this without telling you what a vector is. But basically, these are scalable, just like an image, right? If you zoom out a lot onto it, the most simplest way I could explain it. So if you zoom out to it, you will see a lot of pixelation happening, right? But let's say if your customer needs the same creative on their digital platform, but the same on a billboard, which is massive, right? So how do they ensure that their particular product or the particular graphic that they're creating does not get pixelated, right? So these are scalable graphics that you can create. And we do have an option to create this with Adobe Firefly. And this is one of the most interesting, most time-saving capability that graphic designers, visual designers today will look at. So let me quickly show you two types of generations that we will have, that we can have online on the web platform. I'm not talking about the applications right now. I'm just talking about the web platform. So it's scene generation that you can have. Simple. And this is something you place it on this phone cover or you place it on a billboard. It'll be exactly looking the way it is, just a different scale of it, right? Another example is subject generation. Whenever you go onto just notice everything that you see on your mobile device, whether it's an application or a website that you see, you will see a lot of icons. You will see a lot of subject like these generated, which will have some element or cartoonish effect to them. So these are all created as a base from Illustrator as well. Then we've got the Firefly audio model. Now, all of you would have seen this, I'm sure, 100%. And I'm specifically saying this one name of Donald Trump saying these obnoxious things on Instagram Reels, right? Otherwise, also he's not very on point with what he says. But otherwise, also you would have seen a lot of ways that he sees. So all of then you'll see comments. This is fake. This is not right. This is correct, right? How is all of this getting managed? You know, with the help of API, with the help of capabilities called as translate and lip sync. Of course, they're not using our technology. We've created this in a very safe and sensitive way, and where you can actually have audios of videos converted into different languages. And what we can do is we can also lip sync them, right? So this is how it works. I hope the audio works in here. I'll just reshare my screen to include the audio.
Crafted payment is delivered into a system.
Vitushi, there's no audio.
Oh, basically what it did was basically have the original video as the source and converted it into multiple languages. As of now, for the Indian audiences, we've got Hindi to English as well as vice versa. So you can have all of these translations, and as and when we see adoption of this technology, we'll bring in more languages as well. Correct? Now, the most important, and people would be very interested in the video model now, because people are looking at various use cases, and we've also tried to bring out the best use cases that come out with Adobe Firefly. Now, apart from Adobe Firefly, we also have VO, right? VO is a Google model, and we've got that included as a non-Adobe model into our platform. Now you will hear a lot of competition names like Sora, you'll hear Runway, but we have our own USPs into what we can do best, right? So with Firefly video model, what we can generate is we can have three aspect ratios. We can have three resolutions up to 1080p. We have it there, and then most importantly, we have first and last frame option. So you can import an image and make a video out of this. So we'll have a look at all of those examples. So the first example is with simple text to image, text to video generation, where you put in a particular prompt and you can see this beautiful video being generated. As of now, we do have a restriction of 5-second videos, but if you want to generate a story around it, you will have a lot of examples that you can put the first and last frame. The last frame of the first video can be the first frame of the second video. So these are all complex things that we would be doing as and when we proceed into the future sessions. But this is basic text to video generation. Another, we've got 2D and 3D animation generation. Then adding B-rolls. So when you're talking to people in the media and entertainment side of it, you can definitely go ahead and talk about the video model that Adobe has today. And then we've got different text effects that we could generate. So logo reveals, we could do that. And you saw that this image was as a part of the image model that I had generated. So you could see from this image to a video, we could do an image to video. All you have to do is just have a first frame uploaded and the last frame. Then we've got another image that we had. So this is how you can convert your images to videos. Now we'll get to Firefly boards, which is also my favorite part. It's really, really collaborative and useful for all sorts of designers as well as professionals who look at interacting different at different platforms. Till now, any questions anyone has, we can take a minute pause. We have a lot of content and we are just at time. I think I'll move forward. All right. Then we are at Firefly boards. So Bangalore, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's going to them. It should be online as well. All right, then. We've got Firefly Boards, which is a platform for mood boarding. So you can have multiple people come in together and have, if time allows, and if you do have time, we'll do a little bit of Firefly Boards activities. I'll showcase it to you live towards the end of the session. But then we've got Adobe Firefly services. Now, I want our responses from each one of you that, you would have heard from your customers something like this. Now, we are building our own generative AI solution. Can I say a hand raise for that? How many of you have heard that? That we are building a generative AI solution for our own company. Anyone in the room? Or online? I could see a raise hand. Okay, I have few hands raised. Great. Apart from this, no one in the room? Okay, we have. Perfect. All right, then how many of you have heard? Yeah, we don't need standalone solutions. We don't want an application. We already have too many applications. We want this integrated into our system. How many of you have heard something like that? We've got people in the room here and there as well. So what Firefly Services does today is basically it gives an extension to our existing tool set as headless APIs, right? So what it does is we've taken some use cases that we've seen that a lot of organizations experiences doing redundant work, repetitive work, removing background. They're dedicated 100 people for removing background itself or retouching images. To streamline all of this, what we've done is we've got a set of 25 plus APIs. Now, APIs are nothing, but through this, if I want a generative AI capability on my phone, okay, and I want it in an application that I want to integrate it, I would not be able to do that through the web app, right? That would be an independent app that would open. But with Generate Image API, I can integrate it into my system. And so is with all of these APIs. We have a dedicated session on this. So if you're talking to a services industry, if you're talking to ITS industries, I really encourage you to come for this session. Now, another part of it is Adobe Firefly custom models. Now, Firefly custom models is extremely simple. You would be like, I don't want to your customers would definitely sound like this. And if you will start having conversations on the lines of as to how you are creating on-brand content or how you're creating various illustrations today. So you will have responses from them that generative AI is great, but I want on-brand imagery. So you talk to them about custom models. How does that happen is, we give them a platform where they can have 10 to 15 images of their own. And these 10 to 15 images would help them create a mini LLM for their own organization, create another kind of Firefly for them, which will be used as a base for the next set of generations. So this is something that they could do on a style and a subject basis as well. So this would be an extension to all of these capabilities that we've seen so far. As much as you can customize it according to your brand with these options, custom model with a simple prompt, you would be able to generate on-brand imagery. Next, we have got the Acrobat AI Assistant. Now, this is where we're shifting gears from the Creative Cloud side of it to the Document Cloud side of it. And we extended the technology that we have, or the generative AI. We introduced that to Acrobat with the help of Acrobat AI Assistant. Our base technology is Adobe Sensei, if anyone asks you to. So let me quickly get into what actually Acrobat AI Assistant is. In the Menti quiz as well, all of you guessed it right. It's a platform which can help you summarize documents quickly, as well as we've extended Firefly to Acrobat as well, wherein with the help of text in PDF, you can generate and edit images. And you can also analyze and generate minutes of meetings from call transcripts, as you can see. So what it does is it gives you high quality insights. It can help you rewrite elements. It's extremely simple to deploy whenever you're talking to IT folks. This could be this could be a point you could really highlight. And again, with all Adobe models, your data remains your data. Now, I want to specifically double tap on the high quality insights. Now, what is making me say it's high quality insights? The very fact that whatever is being generated for it, the single source of truth is the document that you're uploading to Acrobat platform, which is the web platform or the desktop platform or on your mobile device. That is one. Second, whatever output you get will have a citation, will have a number attached to it. When you click on it, it will route you back to the source from where you have pulled out the information from. And we are the first kind of it, which we're giving you a parallel experience, right? In terms of generating outputs from your own documents. There are 1,000 use cases that I can think of when I look at all the organization structures, and we will be sending it to you in the deck as well. And it'll be all on Adobe Express. So you'll get a chance there as well. But let's have a quick demonstration. Now I've uploaded this contract that you see in here. Go to the AI assistant button that you see inside of the Acrobat platform. You can access it on phone and as well as on the web application. Now it will process it quickly. And then it'll give you some suggestive questions as to what you can technically ask this document. And then once you've clicked on this, it will give you a response. Now, all of you could see the responses associated with each of the response, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that you can see. What it will do is once you get onto the part, it will take you to the part of the document where it is actually picked up that information from. So it's fully auditable information that you're generating. It's not hallucinating anything. It is actually generating right responses from your document itself. And this is not the only output that you can get as in form. You can generate tables out of it. You can have matrices generated out of this. You can have any sort of output. You can generate emails to be written. You can have this content rewritten into a policy. All of this you could do with AI assistant. The list of use cases is endless that I can talk about. So I think with this we do come and you can utilize those generated outputs into your presentations, into your chapters as well. So we do come to the end of the presentation part of it. I understand for when I was preparing it, I did see there's a lot of information that I actually had to share with all of you. But I hope all of this was relevant so far. This was just the surface view of what Adobe's Gen AI portfolio is. And there's lots and lots that is coming in. I would definitely like to hear from each one of you. What did you think about the session? What was this relevant? What would you like to see next, right?